want to bring it back to Roman a little bit. Roman is on his way to 1,000 days as the Universal Heavyweight Undisputed Champion. Should he break the 1,000 day mark or should he lose at WrestleMania to Cody Rhodes?
Break that 1,000 day mark, buddy. Let's do it.
Mm.
Yeah. Keep that hate train going a little bit longer, man. Because it's like what? We're about 940 days, I want to say. Or 50.
Mm.
And it only take like a month and a half from no 2 months. It would take like too much. A month and a half from after Mania for him to eclipse that 1,000 day mark, man. Because it's March 2nd at the moment. So I'm just saying, man, we should probably let it happen. At the same time, though, we're letting Cody miss out on winning at Mania, which is like one of the biggest things out there for somebody. That's a rough one, man. That is a rough one. But I'm going to say let Roman eclipse that 1,000 day mark because we're probably never going to get a champion to hold on to the belt for that damn long. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say he should lose at WrestleMania. The reason why I think, because to me, him making it to the 1,000 day mark, it doesn't really do much in the grand scheme of things. Like, in the grand scheme of things, him hitting the 1,000 day mark is not going to matter compared to him losing at WrestleMania. Like, he already gave us one of the best title runs in the last decade. He's given us the best storyline in the last decade. Him hitting 1,000 days wouldn't do much. He already proven everything. It's like he already gave us so much great content. So to me, so many great matches and great rivalries. Him hitting 1,000 days would just be for records purposes.
So
But to
let me
me,
interject real quick.
mm-hmm.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna propose this to you right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this even though you said he's gotten all these things done, he's done such a great run. You wouldn't. I know you wouldn't put him over Kurt Angle. I know you wouldn't put him over Shawn Michaels. I know you wouldn't put him over Ric Flair. Would you put him over Hulk Hogan, The Rock?
Oh no, I'm not putting him over The Rock. I wouldn't put him over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him over a Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan. If it depends on what type of question we're asking. If we're talking about wrestling wise, Roman is a better wrestler than Hulk Hogan. But if you're talking about
Yeah.
superstardom, the business isn't what it is today without Hulk Hogan. So we just gotta. I know Hulk Hogan gets a bad rap because of things that didn't happen recently, but if we're just talking about wrestling, pure wrestling, Hulk Hogan was probably the greatest babyface of all time, and or one of the greatest babyface of all time, like top three. And he was probably the greatest heel of all time as well. You don't really get that. The person that's also one of the greatest baby faces was also able to be one of the greatest heels, like, and create one of the greatest factions. It's like, yeah, Hulk Hogan, he ain't over Hogan. I'm sorry. If we're talking about just compare like pure wrestling and entertainment and stardom, yeah, he ain't over Hogan and what Hogan accomplished in his day. But Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
mm, obviously Kurt Angle's a better wrestler. That's a tough one right there. Cause I don't.
Because the reason why I propose it like that is because of the fact more accolades and more ways to grow this legend of Roman Reigns is what helps him eclipse a lot of these guys in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Because Roman has almost hit that point where he's considered a superstar in wrestling, like a true one. And I'm at that point where I'm saying we got to probably push this even a little harder than we have to. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that. But I feel like reaching 1,000 days mark, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really help towards that. To me, what really submits your legacy and allows you to eclipse other legends is the amount of moments you create. And like hitting records like this doesn't really matter because like when we think of uh when we think of Randy Orton has held the title, the championship belt, more than Triple H. He has held the belt more than most wrestlers and most of the greats. John Cena is almost on the way. If he wins another one, he'll eclipse Ric Flair. That doesn't mean we look at them as greater than those who have less title reigns. So in the same way, I just look. I think it's different with wrestling. Like for like the NBA championships matter a lot. Accomplishments like that matter a lot. But to me, in wrestling, I think it's the moments. It's the moments that really stand out to you, and just great character and great storylines. That's what stand out the most to me. And I'm like, that's why when I think of Roman Reigns, I'm like, him hitting the 1,000 day mark wouldn't really do much for me. It would just be like, dang, he hit the 1,000 day mark. It would just be that. It'd be like, but to me, it wouldn't. That wouldn't surpass everything he did with this Bloodline storyline. I'll be like, the Bloodline storyline is what really makes him a superstar to me, and what he did for the
Oh yeah,
past year. So him hitting 1,000 days, I don't feel like he
3 years.
need. Yeah, the last like 3 years. So to me, I think he should lose at WrestleMania. And plus, Roman is not showing up every day now. He's not showing up to every taping now. So I'm like, I want us to finally get a champion again that's literally there every week. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm 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 tired. I'm kind of tired of like that happening for the most part. I'm like Roman. If anyone deserves to not have to show up every week, is Roman. But I'm like Cody Rhodes is in his prime. He wants that title. I think he is the next big star, in the WWE. So I think, and he's probably going to show up every week. So I want Cody to, become champion at WrestleMania and kind of, you know, pretty much help start this new era of wrestling for us.
All right, I respect the decision. I know you ain't wrong, and I think you are very valid. I just think about it like this from a standpoint of guys like CM Punk and stuff like that. As I think about it, you kind of did kind of kill my CM Punk argument because he had a year long reign, and don't nobody remember what really happened in between.
That's what I'm saying.
All we remember is The Rock ended that reign, and then he went on to go face Undertaker, and then get beat on by Brock.
That's why to me, I'm like, yeah, it's just like the records like that don't really, yeah, it don't really matter. It don't really matter as much to me. The only record in the business though that really matters, that really did matter, was the Undertaker streak. But the reason why that mattered so much is because every year it was built up. The streak itself kept being built up. They're not building up the Roman, record of hitting 1,000 days. They're not really building that up. It's more so if it happens, it happens. But the streak, every year that was built up, and that was a moment in itself every year at WrestleMania. So I think that was the only record that really meant something. Um, but yeah, so I'm rooting for Cody to win, but I'm also rooting for Sami Zayn to beat Roman too. I'm like, if you're gonna have him lose at WrestleMania, he might as well lose to both of them at this point and split up the championships.
I kind of only want one championship, dog, because I don't want to go back to like I don't want to go back to like having two belts, right? And obviously one getting treated lesser than the other. Like I said, I keep dragging on the World Heavyweight Championship, but I keep bringing it up because that's the best looking belt, and that was one of the best belts in wrestling. And it got treated as if it was a tier 2 belt that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I
So
think when I think of the championships being split, I feel like it gives more of an opportunity for more stars to be created because there's going to be one star that's going to come out of this, and that's Cody Rhodes. But there's still a good amount of other stars in the making that could really, become a superstar. Like Seth Rollins could become a superstar, but he's kind of put into all these little lower class storylines because he can't go after the championship belt because only one person can go after that basically. So I think I think a Seth Rollins. I think a Sami Zayn is like on the rise. And then, of course, we need more time to see how these other people, continue to progress. But that's the reason why I think you should split up both the belts. Um, and I think like Cody should have one, and then I think Sammy should have one, but temporarily, and then Seth Rollins should ultimately capture that one. So I'm like, having two top tier champions like that, and they're there every week. I think that's gonna help build more stars in the making. So that's the reason why I think it should be a split championship until Roman comes back again, and then Roman, because to me, I think Roman is going to take some time off.